feeling goes, from my perspective, I'm Muslim and American. I have a really mixed feeling when it comes to saying whether or not we're healing or not healing. Because if you ask me on just a regular, everyday basis, I'm going to say no. We're not healing. We haven't healed. It doesn't feel like healing. It feels very uncomfortable that you're a Muslim living in today, and perhaps from other backgrounds, depending on what your experience has been. But at the same time, because of the work that I'm allowed to do, I see relationships being built. A lot of what he talked about is happening on an intimate level, and people who are xenophobic are not getting involved. So it's like everybody who's here is not involved in that group of people, right? Everybody who's here doesn't really need to be here, do they? The people who are here are the people who we most likely engage with already from a Muslim perspective. The healing, I think, we really need to take a step further and go into meeting those people who don't want to meet us. Getting out there and touching the hands of people who don't come out to talk to us. I don't want to sit here and quote statistics, but the percentage of people who dislike, different groups of people, let's use Muslims in this context. The percentage of people that don't like, for example, Muslims, are directly proportionate to the amount of people who have never met a Muslim. So it's, let's say 50 and 40% of the populations who don't like Muslims have never actually met a Muslim. And I know that we're going to start talking about some practical ways, and just to start it off the bat, any Muslim who's in here, go out and meet some non-Muslims. But any non-Muslim who's here who hasn't met a Muslim, reach out and meet a Muslim, because you'll find, or meet a Buddhist, or meet a Hindu, or meet somebody you haven't met before, because it's a cycle of violence that we're talking about here, and it doesn't just lie within the Muslim population. It lies within all of us, and we all have to do something to change. So no, I don't think we heal. I think we have a long way to go, but like he mentioned, we are starting to by the efforts that we're making, but we just have to keep going.
Alia, I've just got to ask you, do you think that you're in a worse situation now in terms of discrimination, again, and antagonism, vilification of Muslims?
If I just take it as a personal experience, when I went after 9/11, I take what I felt then and what I feel now. And after 9/11, I was scared and I was unsure and I didn't know how to quite approach the world right away because I didn't know what I was going to be met with. But what I was met with shocked me because I was met with care and compassion, and we know it's not you, and we love you, we stand by you. Our mosque had, our mosque in Fort Worth is surrounded by tons of neighbors. And so what happened was they came to us and defended our mosque for us. We didn't, because of the relationships we'd already built. But now, some of those very same people are the people who are picketing against new mosques being built. They're the very same people who are having issues with us being Muslim, because the more the sentiment grows in our discourse across the country, the more the negative talk is spread, it gets worse and worse. And so what I've seen over the period of the last 10 years is a decline in how I feel as far as my comfort level of engaging with people. I don't let it stop me because I can't. I'm knee deep in this work. But at the same time, it doesn't make it any easier to go out there. So if you ask me from a personal experience, it's a drastic shift from where we started out as to where we've come to. And I am a little at a loss for words, because you think at this point we've had much stance on this, but unfortunately we don't. It's not that there's not wonderful glimmers of hope and light in these situations, but at the same time, based on just my personal feelings and experience, it's not what it was right after.